Black-only swim times, black-only lounges, the rise of race segregation on Canadian universities. Oh, baby, let's go in on this one. Welcome to Canonymous, and today, Black People Safe Spaces. So, I want to break down this article I found from the National Post. There's so much going on in it. For the record, I'm Black. I've said this in the previous video. If you haven't seen, I am Black. I know I'm currently wearing whiteface at the moment, but I'm Black. And I'm a little mad. I found this National Post article, and seeing as it's Black History Month, I have to go over it. Apparently, as I've been out of school for some time now, in recent months, there has been a wave of Black-only lounges, study spaces, and events at Canadian universities. Twice a week, the University of Waterloo Athletic Centre suspends its usual calendar of mid-morning swim lessons and reserves its 25-yard pool for the exclusive use of a demographic that, in their words, does not have a good relationship with water. What? The people who put that sentence together better have Tourette's, because I couldn't think of a worse way to phrase that sentence. This is so insulting. Not a good relationship with water. I was reading an article and it said 58% of Black people can't swim, which was almost double the white people. This was a US statistic, but I'll use it for Canada simply because either way, I don't think it actually matters. Because basically what the article said was that because there isn't enough pools being built right now in lower income areas, the colored people don't have access to them, and therefore aren't getting the chances to swim as much as the upper to middle class who have their own private pools. Okay, fine. Let's say that's what it is. At fault in Canada too, by the way. Because it's probably something like that. The National Post article goes on to say, in the University of Waterloo, the aim is to get more Black folks. By the way, they spell folks F-O-L-X. I don't even want, okay, whatever. The aim is to get more Black folks into spaces where they haven't always been welcome. Bro, that stuff was ended in like the 40s and the 50s. Why are you bringing it back? What is the point of starting this up now? We've already been through this. And desegregation of pools was already done. I don't know anywhere that Black people can't go and swim unless it's literally in somebody's house. They say this time it's dedicated to building a better relationship with water for the Black community. But it sounds just so damn weird. Basically saying that we need a safe space to conduct our normal activities that anybody else would be doing in the first place. Oh, Black people need their own special place. Don't interrupt the Black people. Don't even look at the Black people. They don't like to be looked at while they're swimming. Disgusting, disgusting article. I don't know, well, maybe not the article itself, but the people perpetuating this. I don't know if any Black people are, going to this, but how do you feel if you are about this? It just seems so weird to me. It's like reverse segregation while also being like segregation regular. Ugh. The University of Waterloo is home to more than 30,000 international students, and many Canadian newcomers. They lack basic swimming skills and are on an oversized risk of drowning. This is why many life-saving societies especially target new Canadians for swimming lessons. Okay, that's fine. I don't know where any of that statement said anything about Black people. That's great. Teach them if they want to learn. I love swimming. It's great. I don't understand why you need to segregate Black people, though, for their only time in order to do this. This doesn't necessarily help all the international students that you have from different nations. It's international. Aside from that, they also have weekly trans-friendly swim events and also some scattered women's-only events to boot. What's even more ridiculous about this is that you have to prove that you're Black. You have to prove that you're Black. How do you do that? Is there just someone there with a 23andMe test ready to go? You have to be Black African descent, they say, African American, African Canadian, African Afro-Latinx, and Afro-Indigenous. What the hell? This is literally like my childhood nightmare, to be honest with you, with somebody just sitting there with some sort of, I don't even know, a whiteboard that says you're not Black enough. I guess you can't swim in the pool, light skin. And Waterloo's not alone in this, by the way. Oh, no, they're not. Like, this whole concept and idea seems very weird to me, right? But, as of recent months, they've been making a lot of these Black-only lounges, study spaces, and events. Listen, if Black people want to make their own spaces, those are necessary, okay? And before anybody gets on me about it, listen to me. It's really no different than having a mosque or a synagogue or some other religious holy place where they generally want their own religious people around, like a Hebrew school, for example, right? And I know you're going to say that these things are religious. It's a little bit different. Not really. And hear me out, because the underline of these religious gatherings is that they actually just want community and a place to share a space with like-minded people who have shared values, desires, and probably experiences due to the fact that they come from a similar background, be it religious or cultural. So same thing with Black people. They want a space for their own so they can basically have that community amongst their cultural people. For anybody who doesn't get it and is wondering, like, why do they deserve their own spaces, okay? And being that Black culture had to be kind of reshaped and redesigned, from scratch when brought to America, as the African parts of their ancestry is essentially gone over generations of slavery. So these spaces are necessary to sort of rekindle that kinship and make sure the culture is shared amongst the people who are descendant of it. I think these are very much welcome, especially if they're owned and operated and run by other Black people. But when you have things like what the school is doing, it just makes it seem like they're putting Black people on a pedestal. Though, it's either they're putting them on a pedestal, you know what I mean, or like not even in a way that like it's like a good way. Like it's not like they're putting them in high praise. It's like it makes it more like you should feel bad and sorry for them. They need more opportunities to be equal. I mean, this is what we fought for in the first place. They have a quote here. It disgusts me to literally no end, right? This is from the Toronto Metro University, formerly Ryerson. This is what they had to say, right? So the space is intended as a shelter from the harm of institutional racism. Here we go again with the buzzwords. And so this is TMU, and TMU has referenced themselves a lot. Like, this is pretty self-deprecating. It's kind of sad and disgusting to hear, but basically, they refer to themselves as a hotbed of colonialist institutional oppression, and the lounge is intended as a place where students can heal and recharge from said oppression and promote Black flourishing. I've never heard so much white guilt in a paragraph in my entire life. It feels so cringy. It's like when you see those videos of white people cleaning the feet of Black people, that's what this feels like, but on like an institutional level. I thought basically the entirety of the civil rights movement was basically us getting out of the oppression, or at least the fight that we had that started. You know what I mean? We fought for this. We got here, we have Black billionaires, we have Black lawyers, Black doctors, Black engineers, Black CEOs, Black swimmers, a Black bobsled team. You remember that movie? Did I mention the billionaires part too? Because that's a big one too. That's a pretty good one that you can, in America, you can become as rich as hell if you can find how to extract from the free market. You can go and you can swim pretty much anywhere you want. As far as I'm concerned, I can swim wherever the hell I damn well please. I don't understand what this is meant to do other than, paint a target on Black people's back that they need to be catered to and cared for like they're freaking babies. We fought this fight to be equal. We don't need to be put on this pedestal. At least I don't feel like I need to be. Just get out of my freaking way and I'll do whatever I need to do. And this is not just Waterloo, by the way, or TMU, or whatever hell it's called. It's also U of T as well. It's basically all of them. So U of T, which also has a Black-only frosh event. I mean, this one I'm less angry about simply because, again, I could see how this is a little bit more on the community meeting up aspect, people from these backgrounds and these cultures getting a chance to communicate with each other. But I mean, even then, I still find it kind of BS. Anyways, Frosh is supposed to be communicating. As far as what I understand, Frosh has never gone to one. It's events to meet your fellow classmates. Well, your classmates aren't only Black, so I don't really see the point of having these Frosh specific events. Now, I don't know how big Frosh is. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's like one specific event, or if it's like a whole day to themselves or whatever. I think the idea is a little bit kind of whatever. I think starting a club would have been a great idea. You don't need to do all this other extra stuff, right? You live in a multicultural world, in a multicultural country. And if you want people to accept each other, it's not through promoting them or putting them on a pedestal or separating them in some kind of degree, whether you think it's good or bad. Everybody else is going to look at them and either be jealous or angry. It should be about everyone integrating with each other and working together. Black people don't require this level of BS, in my opinion. This fakeness for pushing them up on top of the podium for no reason. And you can't tell me the reason is like, oh well, they didn't get a chance to swim before. What about now? We can swim now. I can swim now. I swim just fine. I'm actually a fantastic swimmer. I'm a superb swimmer. And I don't want any of this BS in my life or my kids' life. I don't have any kids. I'm fine and I will swim with the people if I want to. And if I don't want to, I'll book a class for swimming privately. I will book the class because I can, because I work, I make my own money, and I make it next to other white people. But you know what? That's less and less because my work is having less and less white people because this is where we are now. We've somehow gone the opposite way and we're now pushing white people away from everything, only creating more racism in the pursuit of ending racism. I love it. I don't mind if they want to make something for the international students. It was said before that they have a ton of international students that don't, I guess, know how to swim. So that's fine. Have an international student swim section or day or event or whatever. But I don't see how having this segregated black folks one does anything for anybody else. Well, that isn't just black. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. I'm over this dumb article.